All right, let's get started then. So it is my pleasure to welcome you all to this webinar. We're going to be discussing the College Board's new program, their Career Kickstart program, and their Business Principles in Personal Finance (AP) course. You might be wondering why CBIA and the foundation is putting this on. We were invited alongside the U.S. Chamber of Commerce to participate in this rollout, and for the foundation, this aligns very well with our goal to provide more opportunities for students around Connecticut to have dual pathway opportunities for learning and to get more skill-based learning while in high school to prepare them for their careers going forward. So we're very excited to learn more about this course and to be participating with the U.S. Chamber and the College Board in rolling this course out. And so it's my pleasure to introduce Diana Frank. Diana Frank is from the College Board. She is their Senior Director of School and State and Local Partnerships. Am I saying, was that correct? Was that
State and district, but sure, yes.
State and district partnerships. Thank you. I put my note away right when I needed it. So anyway, Diana, the floor is yours. Thank you for joining us today.
Great. Thank you so much, Dustin. I am so excited to be meeting with the group today. I am going to take a second and share my screen so that you all can see what we're going to be talking about today. As Dustin mentioned, my name is Diana Frank. I am a senior director here at College Board, specifically in our state and district partnerships division. So my role is to work directly with state departments of education, other education organizations around the state, as well as with districts to support launching programs and services to support student opportunity. So my team and I work with districts. I think I see a couple of district folks or school-based staff members on the session today. So my team and I work directly with all of you to launch programs and services. What I'm really excited about today is to be able to bridge that gap between K-12 and industry to really help students get this extra lift from their courses while in high school and propelling them toward a career path of their choice. So I'm excited to share with you our new program, AP Career Kickstart. And what we know is that after working with millions of high school students over decades, we realize that we need to broaden our vision from college to college and career. So we've talked a long time. I don't know how old all of you are, but I remember when I was in high school, it was, are you going to college or are you going into work? Those were the options, but never really thinking about how those paths cross. So every student will have a career at some point. It's just a matter of when they start that career. Is it immediately after graduation from high school? Is it after a 2 or a 4-year college degree? Is it after some job training program? Everyone is going to be moving into a career. So how do we make those connections a little bit more real for students? So helping them understand their options and find their future passions. So throughout the session today, we're a relatively small group. If you have questions, please feel free to raise your hand, come off mute, put it in the chat, whatever works best for you to make sure that you leave the session today with answers to your questions and with the information you need to move forward. So all that being said, for those of you who are maybe a little bit less familiar with the College Board, we reach about 7 million students annually through a variety of programs. AP and SAT are, of course, the programs that most people connect to College Board, but we also have programs that reach students earlier in their educational journey and continue beyond high school. So just to kind of give you that full breadth of work that we do here at College Board. So we reach out to students and gather information from students and educators all the time. And what we are hearing is that students, more than anything, want more from their time in high school. They want to make sure that the effort that they put in means something and is useful for when they leave. And what this boils down to is that students want their education to be relevant. They want to know that they're propelling themselves forward and are able to be successful in the future. So how can we make the classroom more topical and more hands-on? Students today are more entrepreneurial, they're more comfortable with technology and future-forward thinking, but they don't always know how to take that next step or even what that next step looks like for them. Students are demanding more career exploration during high school to help them turn their passion into a profession, but many of them lack access to quality career-focused programs that lead to those most in-demand jobs. So how do we help to bridge that gap? So by building AP Career Kickstart, we provide a pathway for career-aware students and give all students the opportunity to explore different pathways, maybe more deeply than they have the opportunity to do right now. So we need to be able to connect curriculum more closely to the skills and knowledge that students need in the workforce. How does that curriculum provide relevance to employers looking for skilled workers? So we're going to talk a lot about 3 specific courses today, but just want to kind of level set everyone. Like, this is the connection between what students are learning in high school and what they need to be successful when they enter the workforce. We hope that employers interested in hiring talented graduates will see the value in these programs and help be a voice for us and guidance for us to be able to continue to grow these programs, to transform them, to elevate them, to benefit all students across the country. And this is one of those first steps, is meeting with all of you today. So as I mentioned, AP is building more career-connected courses, and these courses are termed Career Kickstart. And this is meant to engage students in that deeper knowledge and skills exploring that are related to those career pathways. I'll give you a quick overview of how we've designed these courses, and then we'll get into some of the specifics. So these courses provide students with high school credit, college credit, and industry-recognized credentials. They're designed this way to maximize student options after high school, enabling them to head, as I mentioned earlier, to a 2 or 4-year college, to a technical school, directly into an apprenticeship, or even into the workforce without additional training. The courses in development right now are AP Business with Personal Finance, as Dustin had mentioned. We also have AP Cybersecurity and AP Networking. And these 3 courses represent a starting point, courses that align with the needs of employers nationally and with interest from students everywhere. So this is where we are starting when we talk about Career Kickstart courses. So as I mentioned, these courses are designed to address the engagement and career preparation challenges that face U.S. high school students. And we're doing that through applied learning and career connections, while also being really thoughtful about the inclusion of all students, teachers, and schools. So we want to make sure that through applied learning, students are building the skills they need to solve problems. We do that by bringing in authentic job-related scenarios and help students learn through that productive struggle so that we can increase their students' understanding and teacher job satisfaction. What Career Kickstart courses will also do is build those professional skills, the skills like communication and collaboration and critical thinking, the skills we know employers want to see in their workforce when they're in the hiring process. We also want to make sure that these courses are relevant to workforce needs and are building onto the CTE course pathways that exist in order to connect to high growth jobs in those fast growing career clusters. We also are co-creating these courses with industry experts. So we're not creating things in a vacuum without hearing from all of the different stakeholders in that particular area. And then, of course, we want to make sure that all students, teachers, and schools are represented. Career Kickstart courses are designed to eliminate barriers to student success, no matter a student's prior knowledge or academic experience. The courses will offer scaffolded lessons vetted by industry and equity experts, pedagogy and instructional activities that support teachers, making sure that students walking in with different experience levels are all getting what they need in order to be successful. When developing Career Kickstart courses, we asked educators what they valued most about the AP features that currently exist for our longer living AP courses. And here's what they told us. They told us that robust teacher training, dedicated teacher communities, free student resources, high quality assessments, and opportunities for students to earn credit were all top priorities for our school and district leaders. So as we build Career Kickstart courses, we have built in all of those components to really give the maximum benefit to these courses as we launch them in the upcoming school years. So while we bring a proven track record of success in AP, we also enter the CTE space humbly and looking to collaborate and learn from industry and higher ed experts. Like we do with AP, we will maintain a higher education advisory committee with 2- and 4-year schools represented, and a high school advisory committee with teachers and administrators, really making sure that we're hearing from those that are in the classrooms, those that are working directly with students, to make sure that we're providing what is necessary for our schools and our communities. In addition, we continue to seek and have sought guidance from our industry partners to ensure what we're building is valued by employers in the workplace. We also have engaged national CTE leaders and organizations to ensure that we are aligning with career and technical education best practices. Again, leaning on those experts in the industry and in different organizations to ensure that we're creating something valuable and meaningful for students. So what we know right now is that the current landscape rewards industry recognized credentials. But what we are hearing from CTE leaders around the country is that they're concerned about the value of many of those credentials. So here's just a few of the challenges that we see. Of course, the ultimate goal is to prepare students for jobs, but the credentials that could get them there are designed for adults with 1 to 3 years of experience. And this is leading to low attainment levels for high school students. Additionally, it's difficult for industry to speak with one voice about what matters most, and job postings tell just a little bit of that story. And then lastly, credentialing exams are expensive. And where they aren't covered by district or the state, families are paying a portion of that out of pocket for students to take those exams. So what we see from here, all of these challenges, really was the impetus for our work with Career Kickstart courses. So let's jump into Career Kickstart Business with Personal Finance. So AP Business with Personal Finance introduces students to the knowledge and skills they'll need to grow their careers, to manage money, and to get a head start toward the most popular college major in the U.S. Through this course, they'll learn how businesses develop goods and services to meet customer needs, how they market those goods and services to customers, how they manage finances and measure profitability, and how they evaluate progress to goals and seek to improve performance. When it comes to personal finance, students will focus on personal saving and borrowing, and budgeting and investing, really thinking about what does this mean for me personally, and how do I grow and be successful financially or secure financially. Students will engage in project-based learning, so they'll work on their own entrepreneurial project and they'll practice financial advising skills. All of this leading to something that they can truly use as they are moving forward, again, whether it's into college or directly into a career. So students will learn by doing, as I just mentioned. In AP Business with Personal Finance, this is truly evident in our projects throughout the course. So students will engage in real-life business scenarios. They will have a business canvas project and other career-connected learning opportunities throughout the course. Again, giving them that hands-on experience to see what this looks like in reality and how it can work for them as they progress through their education. The personal finance project comes in at the end of the course, but students will be learning about personal finance skills and knowledge throughout the course. So specifically, they'll focus on personal finance when they learn about things like the Pastel factors, vision and mission, consumer behavior and business marketing to consumers, and when they learn about how businesses recruit, manage, and retain talent. So all of the personal finance work, it is spiraled throughout the entire course to pinpoint those areas in each unit where personal finance comes into play. And here are just a few ways students will gain skills that are critical to success in business and industry. So they'll have that concept application. They'll talk a lot about entrepreneurship and identify market opportunities. What does that look like if you're really interested in being an entrepreneur? How does the decision-making process work? How do you communicate effectively and appropriately with audiences? And then how do you work together? How do you collaborate and build something with others? Really that teamwork focus. Now let's take a second or a few minutes to talk about cybersecurity and networking. These are the other two AP Career Kickstart courses designed to meet the needs of students and employers in this very high demand industry. AP Cybersecurity, in a pilot this coming year, is a broad introduction to the field that offers students the opportunity to earn college credit and an industry recognized credential. This was developed in partnership with college faculty, industry leaders, and is a year-long course that aligns with the National Initiative for Cybersecurity Education Workforce Framework. AP Networking trains students in the field and aligns closely with standard first-year college courses. Students will learn the value of configuring devices and networks, really with that security-first mindset to help mitigate those common vulnerabilities. So really focusing on security as they're working through the networks. And across this screen, you'll see a few different scenarios of what students could be working on during their cybersecurity course. As I mentioned, it is a year-long course, and students will learn about the common threats and vulnerabilities and how those combine to create risk for organizations. Students study how individuals and organizations manage risk and how that risk can be mitigated through a defense in-depth strategy. They will explore those vulnerabilities, attacks, mitigations, and detection measures across a variety of domains and throughout different areas. So they'll focus on individuals, organizations and societies, and government so that they get a full breadth of understanding of what cybersecurity really means and what it looks like in practice. During the pilot years for cybersecurity, students who take the AP course exam and receive a qualifying score of 3 or higher will have free access to test prep that's relevant for the CompTIA exam to earn that industry recognized credential and the sitting fee for the relevant CompTIA IRC exam. The estimated value of that is approximately $350 between the test prep and the exam voucher. So students in that pilot will receive that extra benefit. So where do students need you and how can you support these career kickstart opportunities? So College Board is looking for companies that are focused on workforce development for all students, organizations that understand the need for diversity in industry and believe that there is a talent pipeline crisis that we are positioned to solve with the right partners. As we move past the pilots for these courses and launch nationally in the coming school year, so think about national launch in 26-27 for AP Business with Personal Finance and AP Cybersecurity with AP Networking launching nationally in the 27-28 school year. We want to be sure that we're looking to experts to guide us in developing real-world scenarios, ensuring credentials are valuable and recognized for students, identifying technical and professional skills most needed and missing from the workforce, and help us connect students to those work-based learning opportunities. Some of you may already have connections to your local districts, your local school districts, and are already building those relationships. We want to make sure that we can bring that to scale for all students engaging in these Career Kickstart courses. So what can you do right now? So a couple of things. You can endorse the credentials that demonstrate career readiness through a non-binding letter, basically stating that you believe the skills taught in these courses are the skills young people need in order to be successful in attaining entry-level positions. We want you to deepen your connections with your local school districts by providing those work-based opportunities that I was just mentioning, whether that's field trips to your office, day in the life videos for some of your staff members, apprenticeships, internships, whatever really makes sense for your organization and your local school district. And then support teachers by building a robust pipeline that leverages your expertise to help mentor those teachers. Some of our teachers are going to be coming to these courses with a basic understanding and knowledge level. We want to make sure they have the support to take students through the course with their knowledge and their skill set. And wherever you can provide that mentorship and support is definitely something I think your local school districts would be really happy to have. So if you want to learn more about our AP Career Kickstart courses, this QR code will take you right to our Career Kickstart page. I want to double check and see in the chat if there are any questions. Give you all a minute to internalize what I've shared, take a breath, and feel free to bring yourself off mute if you do have questions.
While people are kind of forming their thoughts, I had a question for you, Diana.
Sure.
Connecticut is one of the states that requires now a personal finance course before you graduate high school.
Yes.
At least I'm 90% sure. Someone on the chat can also correct me if I'm wrong. And does this qualify as that would that satisfy the requirement in Connecticut for that course?
That's a fantastic question. We are currently working with our course framework and connecting it to the financial literacy standards in Connecticut to see how that matches up and if there are if there is a direct connection there, and also working with the Connecticut State Department of Education to better understand how we can talk about AP business with personal finance in that FineLit requirement. So more to come, I guess, is the long-winded way of saying, or short way of saying it.
I can keep asking questions. I have more if anybody else doesn't have.
I think everybody benefits from questions from others, right?
Oh, in the Q&A. There we go. Sorry, I forgot that there's a Q&A and not just the chat box. All right, so when can students start taking the course? 9th grade? Will there be prerequisites for any of the 3 courses?
Yes, thank you so much for that question. Students can begin taking the course as early as the district feels they are ready or the school feels they are ready. There will be no prerequisites for these courses. It just depends on how it fits within your calendar, in your master calendar, and where you feel the students would benefit most. Most of our pilot programs, if it's helpful, are looking at the 11th and 12th grade because of that career connected and hopefully some work-based learning that happens with local organizations.
And then I hear you say you're looking for industry partners. Can you review what the ask is, how long the engagement would be, et cetera?
So I can take that question back. If you are interested in partnering, I can connect you with our industry team. So I work, as I mentioned, directly with the State Department of Education and districts. We have a separate team that is working directly with our industry partners. So I can certainly share your contact information to get more of that detail.
I would add as well for that, we have been collecting some of those letters of support for this for these courses. And so if you'd like, I'd be happy to send a sample letter if you'd like to sign on with that letter of support for the course. We'd be happy to collect that for you, pass along, and keep you updated sort of as that liaison that for the chamber and for the College Board. So
thank you for that, Dustin.
anybody else? We have a robust work-based learning and career pathways for all students in grades 9 through 12. We currently have intro business courses that address basic principles of business. Would these courses be suitable as advanced courses for our 11th and 12th graders?
Yes, fantastic question. So I'm going to direct you to the QR code and our website so that you can look at the framework and see how that matches up to your basic principles of business. Because what we want to be able to do is give that connection to AP Business with Personal Finance and what you're currently offering as basic principles of business and see how they're related. Is the basic principles of business, are all of those topics covered within the AP course, or is the AP course more advanced where you would want them to have these basic principles before entering? My guess, based on the framework, as I've read through it, is that you wouldn't necessarily need to have students take that business principles or basic principles of business before taking the AP Business with Personal Finance, because we will cover those basic principles, but definitely something to look at if you look at your course description and framework and then match it up next to ours. That will help you kind of make that determination.
And this is just a comment from Katie. I will send you that letter. Thanks, Katie. And Diana, please add me to the list of those who would like to participate as an industry partner. We have a workforce development program that can align nicely with work-based learning scenarios. So,
okay, great.
We will make sure that you are on that list, Katie. Anybody else? All right, Chris. Yep, I can absolutely. We can make sure that you're connected as well for work-based learning. And I will. I'd be happy to follow up with you as well about the foundation and what we're doing there too. And we can make sure you're kept in the loop on all this. All right. Well, we are just about at 1:30. So hearing no other questions, I'll give going once, going twice. I just want to thank you, Diana, so much for taking the time today to talk about this program. I know that we're all very excited here at CBIA. This is a much needed opportunity, and I think it's going to expand some of these offerings for our students nicely. So we appreciate the work that you all are doing on this. And yeah, please let us know if there are opportunities in the future to have you come back. Let us know how things are going. Otherwise, thank you to everybody who was able to attend today. We appreciate you coming. Please reach out with any more questions, and I'll get back to you with some of the stuff that we discussed here today. So
thank you all so very much. And thank you, Dustin, for inviting us.
Thanks, everybody. Have a great day.